Oh my gosh, are you all right?
I think so. Oh dear. Here, let me help you up.
Thank
The
you.
whole cafe burst into laughter the moment the old woman slipped. It wasn't just a small chuckle either, people actually turned in their seats, smirking, whispering, pointing like it was some kind of entertainment. A cup clattered. A cane rolled across the floor. The woman's hands trembled as she tried to push herself up, her face burning with humiliation. But then, a young waitress dropped everything. Not her tray. Not her job. Not the fear of being yelled at. She dropped her pride to the floor beside the stranger. And that one simple act of kindness would change her life forever. Because the woman lying there wasn't just any customer. She was the mother of a billionaire. And the entire room was about to learn the difference between laughter and humanity. The cafe was called Maple and Stone, one of those cozy downtown places where rich people came to sip expensive coffee and talk about business like the world belonged to them. The morning crowd was loud, impatient, and dressed in sharp suits. Amina moved between tables with practiced speed, balancing orders while forcing a smile. She was 23, exhausted, and working double shifts just to keep her younger brother in school. Kindness was something she still carried, even though life had tried hard to take it from her. That morning had already been rough. Her manager had snapped at her twice, a customer complained about oat milk, and her feet ached like they were filled with stones. Then the bell above the door chimed. An old woman stepped inside. She looked out of place, like someone who had wandered into the wrong world. Her coat was worn, her shoes simple, and her gray hair was pulled back neatly. She held a small handbag close to her chest, as if it was the only thing keeping her steady. People barely glanced at her. Until she walked past the polished tables and her foot caught on the edge of a rug. It happened so fast. Her body tilted, her cane slipped, and she fell hard onto the floor. The sound echoed. For a second, silence. Then laughter. A man near the window snorted. A woman covered her mouth, giggling. Someone muttered, "Why do these people even come out alone?" The old woman's cheeks turned crimson. Her hands shook as she tried to rise, but her arms were weak. Her eyes darted around, pleading for help, but all she saw were amused faces. Amina froze. Her heart clenched. She didn't see an inconvenience. She saw her own grandmother, long gone, who used to whisper prayers for her when no one else cared. Without thinking, Amina rushed forward. "Ma'am. Don't move, please," she said softly, kneeling beside her. The manager barked from behind the counter. "Amina. Leave her, you have tables waiting." Amina ignored him. She gently placed her hand on the woman's shoulder. "You're okay. I've got you." The woman's eyes were watery. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cause trouble." "You didn't cause trouble," Amina whispered. People forgot how to be human. She helped the woman sit up slowly, checking her knees, her wrists. A man scoffed loudly. "She should have stayed home if she can't walk." Amina's jaw tightened. She looked up at him. "And you should have stayed quiet if you can't be kind." The room went still. The old woman stared at Amina like she couldn't believe someone would defend her. Amina stood, offering her arm. "Come. Let's get you to a chair." The manager stormed over. "This is not a nursing home. If she's injured, call someone else. We can't have this scene here." Amina's voice trembled, but she didn't back down. "She's a customer. She deserves respect." The manager rolled his eyes. "Fine. But don't expect sympathy when you get written up." Amina helped the woman into a corner booth, away from the staring eyes. She brought her water, then quietly paid for a small tea from her own tip money. The old woman's lips quivered. "You didn't have to do that." Amina smiled gently. "Sometimes people just need someone to care." The woman looked around at the café, at the laughter that had faded into awkward silence. I haven't been out in a long time, she admitted. My son, he's very busy. He thinks money can protect me from loneliness. Amina sat for a moment, even though she wasn't supposed to. What's your name? She asked. Evelyn, the woman replied. Amina, she said back. And I'm glad you came in today, Evelyn. Evelyn studied her face carefully, as if memorizing it. You're different, she whispered. Amina chuckled sadly. No. I'm just someone who knows what it feels like to be looked down on. Evelyn's eyes filled again, but this time with something warmer than embarrassment. Gratitude. After a while, Evelyn stood carefully, leaning on her cane. I should go, she said. Thank you, for reminding me the world isn't completely cold. Amina walked her to the door, ignoring the manager's glare. As Evelyn stepped outside, she turned back. You have a good heart, child, she said softly. And good hearts are rare. Amina watched her disappear into the street, never imagining that this moment would ripple into something far bigger. Because somewhere across the city, a man with more money than most could dream of was about to hear what happened. And the people who laughed would soon wish they hadn't. The next day, Maple and Stone was busier than ever. Amina arrived early, still tired, still worried about the write-up waiting for her. The manager barely spoke to her except to toss an apron in her direction. Try not to cause another circus today, he muttered. Amina swallowed her frustration. She didn't regret helping Evelyn. Not for a second. But she couldn't afford to lose this job. The morning crowd filled the café, the usual wealthy customers tapping on phones, sipping coffee like royalty. Then the bell chimed again. And everything changed. A group of men in black suits entered first, scanning the room with sharp eyes. People paused mid-sip, confused. Then another man walked in. Tall. Calm. Expensive suit. Presence that silenced the air. Whispers spread like wildfire. That's Adrian Cross. No way. The billionaire? The tech CEO? Adrian Cross was known everywhere, on magazine covers, news headlines, business empires. He didn't belong in a small cafe like this. The manager nearly tripped rushing forward. Sir. Welcome. We're honored, please, anything you need. Adrian didn't look at him. His eyes swept across the room slowly, like he was searching for something. Then, they landed on Amina. She froze, holding a tray. Adrian walked toward her. Every step felt like thunder. Amina's heart pounded. Did she do something wrong? Was this about yesterday? He stopped in front of her. And then, to everyone's shock, he bowed his head slightly. My mother told me about you, he said. The cafe went silent. Amina blinked. Your mother? Adrian nodded. Evelyn Cross. A wave of realization swept through the room. The old woman. The one they laughed at. Amina's breath caught. Evelyn is your mother? She is, Adrian said, voice steady but thick with emotion. And she hasn't stopped talking about the waitress who treated her like she mattered. The manager's face drained of color. Adrian turned slightly, addressing the room now. She fell here yesterday, he said quietly. And people laughed. No one spoke. The man near the window stared at his coffee like it might swallow him. Adrian's jaw tightened. My mother raised me before I had wealth. Before anyone cared who I was. She taught me dignity isn't something you buy. It's something you give. His eyes returned to Amina. She said you knelt beside her while others mocked. She said you defended her when no one else would. Amina's throat tightened. I just helped her. Anyone should have. Adrian's expression softened. But they didn't. He reached into his pocket and placed a small card on the counter. "My office is starting a foundation," he said. "Scholarships, support for families, opportunities for people who work hard and are invisible to the world." Amina stared, confused. Adrian continued, "And I want you to be part of it. Not as a waitress. As someone who leads with compassion." Gasps filled the room. The manager sputtered. "Sir, she's just an employee." Adrian's eyes snapped toward him, cold as winter. "She is not just anything." The manager fell silent. Adrian looked back at Amina. "My mother said something else," he added quietly. Amina swallowed. "What?" "She said yesterday, for the first time in years, she didn't feel alone." Amina's eyes burned. Adrian exhaled slowly, emotion slipping through his billionaire composure. "You gave her that. And no amount of money can repay it." The café customers shifted uncomfortably, shame creeping across their faces. Adrian's voice rose slightly. "Let this be a lesson," he said. "The world is full of people who laugh at weakness, who ignore the fallen, who think kindness is optional." He paused. "But kindness is the true measure of wealth." He turned back to Amina. "Thank you," he said simply. "For seeing my mother as human, not as entertainment." Amina whispered, "Thank you, for reminding everyone that respect matters." Adrian nodded. As he left, the room stayed frozen. The laughter from yesterday was gone. Replaced by silence. And something heavier. Regret. Amina stood behind the counter, holding the card, realizing her life had shifted, not because she chased money, but because she chose compassion when no one was watching. And that was the message that would echo far beyond Maple and Stone. You never know who someone is. But you should never need to. Because every person deserves dignity. Not because of their name. But because they are human.